Hi, I'm Dalaina Smith, and this is my Module 1 introductory video for AEP 800, Tech in the Classrooms. I'm really excited to be joining this course and learning more about utilizing technology effectively within the classroom. A little bit about me professionally. I currently work at USD 249 Frontenac Schools, where I serve as District Curriculum Coordinator, District Test Coordinator, Pre-K-5 librarian, and the 612 librarian. We are roughly 1,000 students pre-K-12. We're in Southeast Kansas, so we do have a high free and reduced population, and comparatively to other schools in our area, our ELL program is significant. However, we are a district that has a lot of community and parent involvement, which sets us apart from other schools that are our size in the area. And previously, I've worked at Riverton Middle School, where I taught math, computer applications, and ELA. And then prior to that, I worked at Parsons High School, where I taught in the math department. At home, I am wife to Jason for almost 10 years now. And together we have 6 kiddos. We've got Hunter, who is 17, Carter's 15, Lexi is 13, Lindsay's 12, Briar is 8, and then Gunnar just turned 7. So there is never a dull moment in our house between schedules and activities and just 6 kids. It is a busy place to be. Then my educational career, I have a Bachelor's of Science in Education with an emphasis in math that I received from Pittsburgh State University in 2008. I went back to receive my master's in reading in 2012, hoping that that would kind of help with that ELA course that I was teaching. And then decided that I wanted to do some leadership courses and kind of dive into some curriculum aspects of education. So I got my Ed Specialist in District Leadership from Pitt in 2015. Thinking I was done with that educational path, I decided to do a master's in arts and focus on ministry for fun. And I will actually complete that program this spring as soon as I get through my final project. So I'm looking forward to closing that chapter and becoming fully focused on my master's in building leadership and moving forward with my career as a building principal. So impact, implications, and influence currently in our district. We are a 1-to-1 K-12. We have iPads in the elementary that do not leave the building. The junior high level, if they have paid their tech fee, then those are iPads that could go home potentially on a regular basis. And then at the high school, everyone takes their devices with them back and forth, and they are actually on MacBooks. So a lot of opportunities for technology within our district. All of our classrooms are equipped with iPads, laptops, and Apple TVs for our teachers. Some other areas do have specific items that they have requested and received to further enhance that technology. I do feel like this provides a personalized, custom learning experience for our students in a lot of cases. There are some areas to where we've got teachers who are ready to take that next step into utilizing technology, but maybe they're not exactly sure the best way to do that and use it to its fullest. For instance, we have some that are moving forward with flipping classrooms, and yet there are still some aspects that have not yet been tweaked to get the full potential out of what could be done in those classrooms and to provide the students the best opportunities for learning. One of the things that I've really noticed is how easy this makes formative assessments. We can get data back almost instantaneously from a lot of the assessments that are given, and really allows us to use the data to drive our instructional decisions. And then finally, one thing that I really appreciate is that it allows that learning to flow beyond the classroom walls. As a specials teacher right now in the elementary, it's really nice for those kids to be able to bring their iPad with them, and they have their research, they have the work that they've begun in the classroom. Between myself as the librarian and the computer applications teacher, a lot of times we can take those projects that they've begun in the classroom and we can then expand upon them. And that device is really what allows that information to travel with the student. Personally, when I was in the classroom, I did use an LMS to house materials such as tutorial videos, notes, multiple choice quizzes, but I feel like as a math teacher, I was lacking in really truly utilizing that technology to the fullest. Now that I am in the library, I try to use videos to introduce concepts. We use a lot of things like Go Noodle for brain breaks. My curriculum and testing obligations a lot of times have me out of the library. So for my read alouds, even a lot of times, we'll utilize some form of technology to get that book read to students, whether it be a video I put together or something that someone else has put together. That takes some of the pressure off of the substitute that's in the room at that time. And then finally, probably the most used, whether it be with students or with my peers, would absolutely be using the devices for collaborative work, whether it be a shared research project, those projects that are coming from the classroom over to those specials courses, or just data that I'm sharing out as the testing coordinator. Google Docs has been an amazing piece of what my world looks like these last 2 years. My proposed plan would be to be moving from that technology use to the technology integration. Want to make sure that our teachers and students are getting every bit of what they can out of the technology and utilizing it to the fullest. I want to make sure that I can get into classrooms more so that I can see how technology is currently being used, and also get to have some of those conversations about how teachers would like to be able to use technology, and possibly just come to some conclusions of my own as to strategies that would be helpful to bring back to those classrooms. I would want to encourage teachers to use outservice and professional development to really get out there, get into classrooms that are comparative to theirs, and find out what others are using successfully and why they enjoy the different components that they're utilizing. And then finally would be to share specific strategies relevant to various grade levels and those content areas back to our teachers. I don't want this to be something that I merely get and keep for myself, but something that I can share out and would truly impact all of my students. Finally, funding, I really don't think for our district is an issue. Initially, when we started the one-to-one initiative, we actually had a private donor come in and say, we don't want to wait for this to roll out slowly, but they just made a donation so that we could get devices in every student's hand. So I feel confident in saying that if there was an additional technology need that would require more funding, that would be something that we could get it into the district's hands so that we could speedily get it back to our teachers and to our students. Primarily, though, what I think I'm focusing on right now is just teaching our students and our teachers how to utilize that technology in the most effective manner. So a lot of it's just professional development and conversations among the staff and students. So I feel like we're just going to use the funds that we already have very intentionally and make the most of them. So I'm looking forward to hearing everyone else's ideas and inspirations this semester. And thank you for listening.